In 1951, the Land Cruiser entered production as Toyota's heavy-duty, top-of-the-line SUV. Fast forward to 2024, it is transitioning from heavy-duty to light-duty. Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this video, I have the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. I'm going to show you guys all of its new features, take it on a drive, and give you guys my final verdict to see if it lives up to the heritage of the entire Land Cruiser lineup. But now, let's go ahead, unlock the doors, drum roll, get into this review. Woo! Look on the outside of the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. This is your key fob with lock, unlock your tailgate release and panic button with Land Cruiser spelled out on the back of the key fob. As equipped, this vehicle is $71,060, dressed in a heritage blue two-tone exterior paint for $350 on a Java leather interior. Now this particular version does have the premium package for $4,600, which does include a 14-speaker JBL sound system, memory driver seat, wireless phone charger, moonroof, as well as additional Safety Sense 3.0 technology, all of which will be in the description below. But look a little bit more at the exterior design. This has a traditional boxy, blocky exterior design with impressive breakover and departure angles for off-road capability. Looking at your front end fascia right here, you have a rectangular full LED headlight setup with the LED rails, as well as your LED turn signals and LED low and high beams. Now when you go for the first edition or the 1958 edition, you have a heritage circular headlight design. You also have LED fog lights further down below. Your Toyota logo, which is spelled out front and center, with a sensor for your Safety Sense 3.0 technology just behind that, as was a front view camera system just below. Now coming over to the wheels, we have a 20-inch gray multi-spoke wheel for $1,240, wrapped in the all-terrain tire. Your blacked out mirror caps right here, which are power folding, with your LED turn signals and side view camera system just below. You have keyless entry for the front door handles right here, as well as a moonroof up top to give you an airy feeling inside of the cabin. Now overall vehicle length is 196.4 inches long from nose to tail, with 8 inches of ground clearance. Also over here on the driver's side, you have a 17.9 gallon gas tank. Coming around to the rear end design, you have a full LED taillight setup back here for your LED brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights, as well as a single exit exhaust tip down here on the driver's side. This one is ready to tow 6,000 pounds in its current application right here. Now before I open the tailgate, I'm going to show you guys one cool feature back here. If you hit the button, you can also have a little window which does pop up so the cargo doesn't roll back and hit your foot. Now to open the tailgate itself, you can use the release right by the Y logo, and it'll power open. Now behind the second row seats, you'll find 37.5 cubic feet of space. The seats do fold down in a 60-40 fashion right here. You have integrated USB-C ports and cup holders on both sides, as well as a household outlet right here, which is an AC 120 volt charger. Cup holders right there, as well as your first aid kit. This box right here is for your carpeted floor mats. You also have a little bit more storage down below right here. To close the tailgate, you can use this button up top to either lock the doors, close the tailgate, or just close the tailgate like so. But now, let me show you guys under the hood where all the action happens in this iForce Max Powertrain version right here. Let's repop the hood because we slipped up. It's just another day at the Toyota dealership. Now under the hood of this Land Cruiser right here, you have a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder with a 1.87 kilowatt hour battery for a total system of 326 horsepower and 465 pound-foot of torque. It uses an 8-speed automatic transmission while getting 22 city, 25 highway, and 23 combined, with a curb weight of 5,037 pounds has a towing capacity of 6,000 pounds in this application right here. Let me get a 3/4 front shot. Boom. But now let's see the interior where all the action happens in the new Land Cruiser. We're on studying back seats, of course. And yes, it's very busy today. Hopping into the back seats. At 5'6", sitting behind myself. I have about 4.5 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes back here, I have about 3.5 to nearly 4 inches of headroom back here, which is very impressive. Now, speaking of amenities in the back seats, you have your window controls right here. You can see the lovely JBL sound system. You also have a tri-zone climate control, so you have 2 up front and 1 out back. You can change your fan speed as well as your temperature right here. You also have some charging ports further down below, a 12-volt charger, as well as 2 USB-C ports right here. Storage compartments on both sides. Quick look at the Moonroof up top, which does give you an air filling inside of the cabin. Here's a quick look to the cockpits. Cockpits. This is Captain Chris. Roger. All right, I'm done. But now let's hit the driver's seat where all the action happens. Whoa. Hitting the driver's seat of the new Land Cruiser. As stated, this is a Java leather interior. You have a 8-way power driver's seat as well as passenger seat for your power bottom, back support, and a 2-way lumbar support right here with a power tilt telescoping steering column. You have your 2-person memory as well as your window controls right here on the door panels, as well as a couple of shortcut buttons for your hood release. You have your trailer assist functions right here, gas tank, tailgate release. You can also turn on the charging port in the back, auto high beams, rear cross traffic alert, clutch illumination, and fog light button right here. Now hopping inside of the interior. Nice and quiet in here. You have this 3-spoke steering wheel. Let me move back so you guys can see the full view of that right here, which is heated. You have all your media functions on the left-hand side. You can also change your cluster settings, which I will talk about in 1 second. And you also have your Safety Sense 3.0 technology over here on the right-hand side. You have your light controls as well as your wiper controls right there, and a sensor that actually scans your eyes to make sure you're paying attention. Now looking in front of you, you have this 12.3-inch cluster. You can use these buttons right here to change everything. This is basically, I have it set up for my liking right here, where I have the Turbo PSI for the iForce Max powertrain, drive assist in the middle, as well as the pitch and roll over on the right-hand side. You can change everything up right here by going over and toggling between all your various different settings. Right, hit the OK button. You can change the middle screen right here, as well as the one on the side right here, and toggle between all your various different information. Same with the right-hand side over here with your auxiliary gauges and so on. And also one thing I want to talk about too is that you do have a clear crisp head display up top, which you can change and configure. So right now I do have my speed, as well as speed limit in the area, and all of my driver assist information right there. Now looking over here, this is also a 12.3-inch display. You also have your volume controls right here on this side. Now I do want to start out with a quick audio test. Now it does have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, but let's try out the audio in its 14-speaker JBL sound system. Now the system definitely does have a lot of bass and sound quality and is impressive for sure. But going back to your main page right here under the infotainment settings, you have your wireless CarPlay settings. You also have your navigation, which is a subscription-based thing. Audio settings right there for your radio, AM, FM radio, and so on. Phone settings. You also have some vehicle settings under this menu right here for your climate control, trip information right here. And you also have a off-road information page right here, so it'll show your drive mode, if you're in 4-wheel drive high or low, as well as your brake and accelerator and your pitch and roll, and also steering angle as well right here. Going down to your settings, you can have all your personal information, built-in Wi-Fi settings, display settings. You can change the sound system, a couple of vehicle customization settings for your lights, illumination, door control, utility stuff, and so on right there, as well as built-in software updates and so on. Looking further down below, you have your push button start with a tow haul specific mode right here. As stated, this is ready to tow 6,000 pounds. You have a dual zone climate control right here for your 3-stage heated and cooled front seats, as well as your heated steering wheel button right here and all your climate control stuff. You have a button right there, shortcut button for your 360 camera or your front view camera system. And let me show you guys in gear what it looks like with the camera system activated. So this is in reverse. We have a 360 camera up top, as well as a rear view with trajectory lines. You can also change the various different angles and so on right here. You put the vehicle down into neutral drive and over to a manual mode. Now at under 8 miles an hour, you can also activate the front view camera system as well. So it's activated right here, boom. Now over here you do have all your various different drive modes. So right now it's on a drive mode selector, so you can change all that stuff right here inside the infotainment. We're on eco mode. You can go to a normal mode, as well as a sport mode right there for most aggressive driving. You can also change the multi-terrain select right here when hitting this button. So right now it's in a auto mode. I can go to dirt, sand, mud, or deep snow right there. But for on-road driving, auto shall suffice. You also do have a DAC crawl function for your hill descent function button right there. And also, before I go further down below, you have a wireless charging pad over here on this side with USB-C ports, 2 for just charging and 1 for connectivity to the infotainment system right here. An electronic parking brake right here with a auto hold function. You have all your forward drive control settings right here for the stability bar release to get a little bit more angle on the rear. Traction control, as well as your forward drive lock buttons right here. You can also go forward drive high or low. You also have 2 cupboards that are a pretty good size, and in the center console right here, you have a cool box. So if I hit the cool box function, you get cool air. That's sweet. So if I had like my drinks and stuff on a road trip, that would really come in clutch. Now looking up top, you do have a digital camera mirror right here. You can also go back to a traditional view, and you can change all your various different settings with this button right here on the end of the stock. You have your lighting settings up top, as well as all your moonroof controls as well. As you can see, it does give you an air feeling inside of the cabin. But now, let's take the new Land Cruiser for a drive and see how it does. First, setting up behind the wheel of the new Land Cruiser. Speaking of visibility out the front, rear, and sides, I can see very good over the hood, as well as the side mirrors, and even out the back. We have this clear, crisp head display right in front of my line of sight with my speed limit area, driver assist information, and so on. You also do have this digital camera mirror out back, aiding with rearward visibility, especially if you have hyperactive kids or cargo out back. Now, first setting off, the 8-speed automatic is very smooth shifting, paired with this iForce Max powertrain right here, which I did have a couple of chances to drive off camera and get a little bit more first impressions. Now, it makes 465 pound-foot of torque, and it makes 326 horsepower while getting 23 mpg. Now, the first thing you notice is how much more lighter this new Land Cruiser does feel. Keep in mind, this one is about 5,000 pound curb weight versus the last generation, which is about 5,700 pounds. Now, speaking of seat comfort, it is great. I do have 3-stage heated and cooled front seats, as well as a heated steering wheel right here. Now, typically in the new Land Cruiser fashion, you probably want to know, does it maintain the same heritage as the last generation Land Cruiser? Now, keep in mind, Toyota is kind of shuffling out their entire lineup. The Sequoia is now the top dog, and the Land Cruiser is moving more down market towards the Jeep Wrangler kind of type of buyer, so to speak. Now, I know a lot of people were definitely upset when this new Land Cruiser did come out, because they were, used to just having like the Cache being the big dog of the entire Toyota lineup, but now it's a more affordable. I believe the last generation was in the basically approaching $90,000 range, price similar to like a Cadillac Escalade or even like an Infiniti QX80, something like that, but now it's like a Wrangler competitive. Right now we're in eco mode. You do have 3 different drive modes between eco, normal, and sport. We're just in this regular drive mode right here. Now, speaking about the exterior design, I have to say I do like the way this one does look, especially with the rectangular headlight design. Now, if you go for the 1958 as well as the first edition, you have a heritage circular headlight design. This iForce Max just has so much torque. But as we sit on the highway, let me throw on the adaptive cruise control right here via the Safety Sense 3.0 technology. I can change the following distance right here, all the way out to 4 or all the way down to 1. We'll change the following distance to about 2, which is the perfect middle ground. so you're not following too close or too far. And just sitting on the highway at just over 60 miles an hour, the cabin is actually very hushed, quiet, and refined. Right now it's yelling at me because my face, it can't detect my face. These sensors are very sensitive in these new cars. But as you can see right here, the adaptive cruise control using the camera up top, as was the camera on the front bumper, is doing a great job of following the traffic in front of it. There we go. Alright, there we go. We'll turn that back off. It's yelling at me. It's very sensitive. But just sitting on the highway, it's actually very smooth. Now, this one, as equipped, is rated at 25 mpg on the highway. It does have a 17.9 gallon gas tank. Now, as we see here on the highway, let's talk a little bit more about the technology aspect, because you have this dual 12.3-inch display setup right here with the various different drive modes, which I have to say, I do like the animations when you change the various different drive modes. Right now, it's in sport. You get kind of like the red animations and so on right here. Now for the main infotainment, you do have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. Navigation is still a subscription-based thing. The whole infotainment system is very easy to use, interactive, and you have all of your various different functions. Now, what's impressive about the new Land Cruiser itself is its off-road capability. I mean, that's how it's been touted since it launched back in 1951 as Toyota's kind of like bread and butter, heavy-duty, like off-road vehicle. And it definitely follows suit. You have all of your multi-terrain select functions right there for off-roading and so on. Also, this version does have the 20-inch wheel setup for $1,240, which I'd say definitely looks better than the 18s. And the Powertrain at iForce Max just pulls you up and out of the hole. I mean, the torque is just insane in this car. 5,000 pounds, it moves this truck out very well. Passenger power is also great as well. I mean, you can just get up and out of the hole around traffic. It's so fun. Now, comparing it to like this Jeep kind of comparison vehicle, I think of the 4XC version, for instance. I think that I would compare it directly to this, as they're both hybrids, and you get a little bit of like the electric range capability. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like that are old school kind of like heritage Land Cruiser buyers that are like, oh, this is, you know, not a good product at all because it lacks a third row, doesn't have the V8, and you guys are probably on the fence about the hybrid powertrain as far as reliability goes. But I have to say, in person, this is 10 times better than what you might expect. Why does it beep? And this turbo 4-cylinder, man, it really feels like a V8 with the amount of torque. That low down torque that you get from this powertrain is just solid. I'll show you guys the 360 camera while we sit here at the light. As you see, you have a full bird's eye view right here. You can also put it in an automatic mode under speeds of about 8 to 9 miles an hour, which would be perfect when going off the beaten path or attacking the Walmart parking lot. If
you want to just drive over the curb and say you're, you know, off-roading. You also have your multi-terrain select right here, which you can change between all these various different modes right here. For on-road, it's perfect in its auto setting. And you also have your hill descent functions. You can also activate and deactivate like your sway bars and all of your different stuff right there when going off-road. You also have your off-road page button right there. So it shows you your drive modes as well as all your all-wheel drive settings, acceleration, brake time, and so on right there. So if I switch it back over to sport, you can see it actually changes the drive mode right here. And when I give it a little brake pressure, you'll see that inside of the screen. You'll still have your breakover and departure angles right there. So it's just so cool you have all these little graphics and stuff. And just look how smooth it is sitting here at the light. Right now it's in electric only mode. And the engine fires right back up. There's no shimmies or shakes or nothing when firing the engine. Now we do have to try a quick acceleration. We'll go sport mode. Yeah, sport mode, traction, give it a little brake boost. Yeah, it's definitely more than enough acceleration. That is perfect. Now, obviously, this is on the same platform as the Lexus GX, which actually does have a third row option, and it's probably like more of the luxury version of this vehicle. But I have to say, the importance of this interior are like amazing. They're perfect. You have all the soft touch materials right here, all the creature comforts, plenty of adjustment for the 8-way power seats, and so on. And also you have the upcoming 4Runner. So if you want a more affordable 3-row Toyota SUV so they don't cannibalize the lineup, you also have the 4Runner, which does have the 3-row option if that's what you're looking for. And this is also on a platform as the new Tacoma as well. Now, as we get a little bit closer to the dealership, I want to get to the conclusion of what I think overall about the new Land Cruiser. I have to say, exterior design is definitely an A+. I do also like the technology aspect with the Safety Sense 3.0 technology. Of course, obviously, I have a camera on my head, so it will be beeping at me. And when I have the seat adjusted for a more driver-friendly position, I'm sure the 3.0 Safety Sense will work very good for sure. You have heated, cool seats, all your 360 camera stuff, and everything you ever want. Now, I think the main thing that most people need to know about the new Land Cruiser is that this isn't the same Land Cruiser as it was before. It is changing for the better. It's coming down market. It's more affordable, and it's moving to a 2-row SUV kind of package that this one is versus the 3-row. And it just does, it's not as much cachet as the last generation was like top dog. This is now moved down a little bit more. But in short, that's all I have to say though about the new Land Cruiser. I'll give you guys one final pull and then we'll wrap up this video. You can see right here the brake pressure as we see here at the light. Oh yeah, and my phone's just chilling on this wireless charging pad. This powertrain is just insane the way it pulls. The power is just like right there. But yep, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna wrap up this video. This is Chris signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next. Oh, look at that, the regen braking is just slowing us right back down. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the new, I was about to say Jeep Wrangler, but this is the Toyota Land Cruiser. This is a Jeep Wrangler. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I do love the technology. That's what really impresses me. You have power tilt telescopic steering column and all of the off-road capability that you'd ever want in a nice package. But yeah, this is Chris signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. We're live in 3, 2, 1. First setting up behind the wheel is in park.